Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing Marvel Avengers. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and salutations. Today, what's next? Let's get to it. So you jumped into the multiplayer and got tired of seeing all the warnings with the spoiler alerts, and so you went through and decided to go through the campaign and enjoyed it, didn't enjoy it, doesn't really matter. You went through the campaign, and now what is next? After you do the campaign, you can come back to the multiplayer, and it can feel really overwhelming with all the different facets of the multiplayer that are available. And at some point, or at this point, you might be saying, well, how do I get to the max level? How do I get to the max power quickly? Now that's a different video. For now, we are going to talk about after finishing the campaign and going into the multiplayer, what do you do, or what can you do, or what should you do? So of course you're going to want to gain experience to get more skills and of course get better gear. That's a given. And everything is kind of interconnected, although you may not see it as such. So first of all, you're going to look at your gear, look at your skills, and then go to your objectives and run down the list of all your different objectives and see what each objective wants you to do. And one of the things you'll notice, for each hero, there is a specific harm room challenge for each one. So if you have not done that already, I would say go ahead and go through the harm challenge room for each particular hero, which is different than the harm challenge room 1 through 5. Now each of these harm rooms are specifically designed for each hero to get you more accustomed with that hero. Now if you've gone through the campaign, obviously you're at least somewhat familiar with each hero. Moving on, you will want to, let's back up just a second. You'll want to do that because that will unlock the next step for each hero's progress. And as you're doing that, you'll unlock different things that you'll need to do in order to progress that objective. All right, now moving on. You'll want to increase your faction level. So you'll want to go to the anthill and you'll want to go to the helicarrier, go to those Inhuman and Shield faction leaders or bounty givers, and pick up bounties from each of them. Now each day resetting at 12 o'clock Central US time, they will have a new set of bounties, and each one has I believe 8 bounties and then 1 mission bounty. And most of those bounties you will complete as you're doing other things. So that gives you kind of the interconnectedness. Now, if you've played a couple missions and you notice that there's no progress on a couple of the bounties, faction bounties, then you can look at those and say, okay, what should I be doing in order to complete those? Some of them you have to complete a mission on challenge 3, some of them challenge 2, or there's certain enemies that you have to defeat or get drops from certain enemies. Now, in addition to getting the faction rank up, increasing your knowledge of each character, increasing the level and gear power, you're going to want to go through each of the levels within your level range, because as soon as you get into multiplayer, you'll see some of those missions that are 125 and you're 90 points under level or something to that effect. Obviously you're not going to try to do those. You're going to want to do the ones that are within your range and complete them. Now, as a point of interest, as you're doing these different levels or different missions, you will want to go to the tactical view often so you don't miss anything, and those side optional points of interest when you're looking at your tactical view, you'll want to go to as many of those as possible and kind of explore the map, because any of these missions that happen to have a hidden bunker, you'll want to go through and search around the map. At some point, once you get within range, you'll have that little radar blip in the top left, and then just kind of follow it around until you get close enough to the button to open up the bunker, and then go in the bunker. There's usually a couple of strong boxes to open, and one of those will have a vault resource, so it will unlock a vault somewhere on the map. Now, all the map areas, with the exception of the helicarrier and the Scandinavian Highlands, currently seem to have a vault or a hidden vault level on them. Now, these vault levels will have a decent amount of gear, they will have a lot of side optional points of interest, and they will have DNA strongboxes. So while you're doing the missions and you're going to these side optional areas, the reason for doing those, not only to get familiarity with the map, but also increase your gear power. If you just go straight to the objective every time, your gear power is going to be lagging a little bit behind your hero level. So in addition to getting more powerful gear and getting more resources so that you can boost the power of your gear, you're also going to be looking for hidden bunkers, which will unlock those vault missions. Now, in order to fully take advantage of vault missions, you will want to go into them with 2 DNA keys. DNA keys, the only way that you can get them is by playing villain sectors. Villain sectors at the very end, after you've completed it, as one of the mission rewards, you will get a DNA key. Additionally, vault missions can only be run once per day, and then you'll have to go back to the level that had that bunker and then do the same thing on the next day. So you have to do the mission to unlock the vault and then play the vault, but in order to fully take advantage of the vault, you need DNA keys, and the only way to get DNA keys is to run villain sectors. So even once you get to a point where you have all of the missions done, completed, that you are able to do within your level range, you'll still be able to go through and do a loop of doing the missions to unlock the vault, doing villain sectors to get DNA keys, and then doing the vault mission to find those DNA strongboxes, and then of course get down to the vault and unlock it for resources and loot. Now, of course, you can do all of this either alone, or you can enable matchmaking, or you can invite your friends to play along with you. Now, of course, your level range and your friend's level range may not coincide with each other. So your friends, if they are ahead of you, you may not be able to do the same things that they are doing. Some of those villain sectors have a minimum power of 40, so you would at least need to be level 40 or power level 40 in order to accompany your friends in doing those villain sectors. As far as the vault missions, most of those are relatively low, I believe starting at 20 and then going up from there. And then of course the other missions are geared towards your level, so more towards the beginning, lower level, and then you can go ahead and get the vault at least unlocked on your map, and then you can come back to it when you are the appropriate level. Now you may say, do I need to have a DNA key or 2 DNA keys in order to run a vault mission? No, you do not. You do not have to have any DNA keys if you do not want to use those keys, or you don't have to use those keys even if you run the vault mission. The DNA keys are there to open those special strong boxes which are on the vault levels, and they give you additional resources and loot that you would not otherwise be able to get. So on any given day, if you do not have the time in order to go through 2 villain sectors, the mission, such as Stark Realities, where you have the hidden bunker, and then go through a vault and go through all the optional side areas to find those DNA strongboxes, you don't. The minimum is go through the original mission to find the bunker and get the vault resource, and then run the vault mission. That is the bare minimum. And then if you want to expand from that, do your 2 villain sectors and then do the vault mission, you certainly can. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check us out on social media, and thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And we'll see you next time.
That's all of them.
The reactor is powered by 4 energy junctions. Destroying them should destroy the reactor.
I'm in some trouble here. Who you gonna call? Hulkbuster. Okay, let's talky or fighty.
Energy junction destroyed. Another junction down.
Nice work.
I'm in trouble here.
Excellent. Another energy junction is gone.
You got this.
Appreciate it.
Good work. The arc reactor is powering down.
Using the intel you gathered, we've located a staging base where task